Let me start off with you, Jefferson. I mean, it's been how many days? How many days were you on strike?
Sure, we went on strike. Actually started on the 6th.
On the 6th.
But the roadmap started on the 4th of June.
All right, so
sure.
about 10 days in all.
Yeah.
And you laid down your tools. I mean, that should be a very difficult thing. People watching from outside see it. I mean, nursing, very, very, very interesting, very, very delicate profession. Leaving your tools or dropping your tools and embarking on strike while you see people die should be very heartless.
We feel the same way they feel, and we understand it better because we are the hospital with them. But they should also remember that aside all the challenges, the logistical challenges, the infrastructure challenges, we remain there with them. But what I want to put straight and emphasize is this struggle was not only financial struggle. It wasn't fought because of financial struggle, but it was fought because of systematic failure. It was fought because of unfair treatment in the health ecosystem. It was fought for professional wealth. Yes. We have not been treated fair all these years. You can't, in a point where the nation is dying, you call us heroes. And when you need to sustain ourselves, then you tell us that you do not matter. In the days of cholera, we were the best for the nation. In the days of Ebola, we were all over, the best for the nation. In the days of COVID, we were heroes and heroines. What happened? Is it too big to ask for the small that you have promised us? It's not that we are asking for anything new aside what we have discussed. So our employer actually didn't sort our interest in whatever that they were doing, and that brought us here. We were treated unfairly. We were treated worthless, and even at a point, we were being insulted for sacrificing for Mother Ghana, whilst others went out to seek for greener pastures. If you take 4 nurses in Ghana within the last 6 years, one has traveled.
Wow.
In every 4 nurses, one have traveled. And in the 3 left, 2 are potential travelers.
They want to travel?
Yes.
Wow. So what happened to the sacrificial calling, the calling of nursing, the Florence Nightingale spirit?
Sure.
Now nurses no more want to sacrifice. They want to run away for greener pastures and striking, whilst the reason why they've been called, the people are dying. You know, President Akufo-Addo said something some time ago that we know how to bring back the economy, but we don't know how to bring back lives that may pass. So people would have died. Your conditions of service may be implemented, but people would have lost family. So was there no other way of engaging to make sure that we don't lose their lives, yet we find fulfillment or satisfaction in how the condition of service will be implemented? And the
emphasis is may be implemented. So it is not even a must. We got to where we were because of mistrust.
No, not necessarily. We understand that, of course, conditions of service were agreed upon last year. It was in the process, and some other things from your side happened, which put the implementation on ice. Now a new government has come, and the government has told us that there are a lot of problems, fiscal space almost non-existent, etc. And whilst the government is trying to navigate its way out, they are hit with such a huge strike.
Let me put this in perspective so that viewers will understand. We didn't cause that problem. Nurses and midwives have done our due. Whatever is expected of us, we did. In the days of Nightingale, nurses and they were working under conditions that were due, not strenuous and harsh conditions. So the sacrifice we are doing it even under difficult conditions. We signed our conditions of service in May 2024, and it was due for implementation in July 2024. That is 1st July 2024. 2 days to the implementation, we had about 88, a section of nurses and psychiatric nurses, about 88 of them, saying that this condition of service that we have gone to negotiate, it is small, it is not worth of the struggle nurses goes through, the financial benefit that goes to the nurse, the allowances, it's not due. It is something they cannot accept. We sat down, we made them understand that, you see, after you have signed the collective agreement, you cannot go back to renegotiate with government unless after 1 year of its implementation or until it is expired, that is 2 years, then we go for. So they should understand. They said no, they went to court, so it was injuncted.
So that's not government. That wasn't government.
That wasn't government.
So that was your fault.
But there were two things involved in whatever means. We were in court. The court would say that yes, go and renegotiate, which will still bring financial implications, wouldn't it? The court will say no, go and implement this, which will still bring financial implications. So where were the managers? What were they planning?
Well, there was injunction. How has the case traveled now? Is the case concluded, or
the case concluded in December?
And what did the
they said we should go and implement this. We came for ADR, and the ADR, the people, the leaders of the 88 group asked for 1 million Ghana cedis for the leaders themselves and 300,000 for the lawyers. That is the legal fee. I think it was.
I don't understand. They asked for 1 million cedis.
Yes, for them the to for them to understand that the issue should be taken out of court, and for the implementation.
An out of court settlement.
Yes,
but why did they call for 1 million? 1 million cedis for their personal pockets?
Yes, I can give you facts.
I'm the regional chairman. I'm the regional.
No, for themselves.
What happens to the members?
I don't know. The legal fees. I think it was led by Becca Oliver. Yes, was requesting 300,000 Ghana cedis. We didn't have that money.
So
the association. So we went back to court. The judge still insisted that we should go for ADR. We came and said what we can do, because the 128,000 nurses that work in Ghana, GRNMA holds over 100,000 of them. So the longer this keeps, our members are the chunk that they suffer. We said that we gave an offer that, you see, the 1 million we don't have. If we have, we even invest in our members. What we can do is to pay 1/3.
Why should they take you to court and now ask you to pay them?
I think they will be the best people to answer. What we can do is to pay 1/3 of the legal fee. That one we think it's fair, of which we did back and forth. They agreed. Then we went back to court, and court said adopted our agreement, and this was in December. January, we wrote to Chief Director, Ministry of Health, that we know that government has changed, but our condition of service needs to be
So in essence, the matters surrounding your conditions of service were only resolved in December.
In December.
And in January, there was a new government.
Exactly.
Okay. And then now in June, 6 months after the conditions of service matters were resolved, you are on strike.
Yes, it wasn't resolved. Because
what I mean was in court.
Yes, it was
resolution in court.
Yes, it has been resolved. So we wrote to the chief director, and he assured us that we shouldn't worry. They are aware of our document. Finance is also aware of it, because we have an employer. We don't deal with party A or party B or party C. No, our employer is the Ministry of Health, and the only thing that will change is the minister and some few other things. All the technical people who sit for these negotiations are there. So they said they are aware of it, so we should wait for the new minister, which makes a lot of sense. We did. And later the minister was appointed. We wrote to the minister, we met the minister. The minister said, wait, let me look at the document. And I think this is not a difficult thing for us to do. We waited, we went again. The minister said that, you see, let me speak to the finance minister, that we know how we will go about it. It makes sense. All these while we were communicating exactly what the information to our members. Finally, they told us that we should wait for budget to be read, then we'll be factored, which makes a lot of sense. We communicate same to them. We waited, and budget was read, we didn't hear anything. For me, I was thinking that probably it is under one of their huge monies that was budgeted for them, so not necessarily mentioning your condition of service. We engaged. The Ministry of Health PRO said that even after the budget reading, we engaged over 5 times. Yes, it is true. The official ones is the 5 times. The non-official ones is more than that. Even the letters to Ministry of Finance, letters to the Ministry of Health was more than that. So in a situation where you tell me that, wait, I will take care of you when we read budget, I have gone to inform my over 100,000 nurses. Then later you come to tell me that I did not budget for you.
So that chief director, have you been in touch with that chief director? Is it still the same?
The chief director we were engaging has left, but before the chief director left, the minister was aware. The minister it was the minister who told us that they would take care of us in the budget. It was the minister. So now, if the minister should come and tell us that we don't have budget for you, if a whole government communication machinery should come and tell us that we don't have budget for you, we felt that was a big insult.
I see. Well, I'll come back to that. But for those who do not understand really what the conditions of service contain or what the terms were, can you briefly tell us what you were expecting or what to put in the conditions of service?
Right. It is not anything big. Majority of them are insurance.
Okay. So what are they?
First of all, we were asking for rural incentive allowance.
Incentive allowance?
Yes. We are in Accra. And this does not go to every nurse. It is very difficult to accept posting to some part of Wale Wale, Damango, Gaboso, those rural areas where people will need to cross rivers to see clients, where people go through strenuous activities before they can provide care. We said that, you see, it will be fair to them to give them something small.
What's the price of it? 5% of their
5%.
basic?
And
5% of their basic salary?
Yes. Their basic?
No.
You will be sad.
What's their basic?
I wouldn't want. It is very disgraceful to mention.
No, mention it. I don't mention what we want to know, so we appreciate the situation.
A net salary of some nurses is less than 2,000 Ghana cedis. That's a net, including basic
entry level.
It's hard. Entry level. The person has worked for more than 4 years.
I see.
Including allowances and basic salaries and all 2,000 Ghana cedis here in Ghana. And we are saying that person working at the village where there's no light, where there's no proper infrastructure, where he works from morning to evening. Even in the evening, people are knocking on his or her door. Do something small for them to motivate them, such that they also do not run from our parents, our grandmothers, our family members who are the village. This is it. And we say that nursing is a science, and it keeps revolving. And so, therefore, this, like I was saying, the rural incentive was not for every nurse. It was for only a
rural
session.
Incentive. Okay.
Yeah.
So what again?
Then we asked for book and research allowance.
Book and research allowance.
Yes, exactly. This allowance is also not for every nurse.
Great.
It is for nurses who are into research and into tutoring.
Okay.
Those who teach.
So what percentage of?
We asked for 10%.
10% of the basic.
Exactly.
Okay. So what again?
We also asked for a non-basic allowance.
Non-basic allowance.
Yes.
Which is what?
That one is non-basic allowance was 8%.
8%. So
Yes.
what does that do?
Our market premium, as at the time discussed, was supposed to be 78% of our basic salary. Currently, as I talk to you, it ranges between 13.5% to 17%. You understand? You see how unfair the system is to us. So we said that, you see, we understand that there are challenges. We understand. So how do we resolve the challenge? In every time we go for negotiations, add something small to the market premium, such that we will be inching closer to the 78% of our market premium. We didn't do that adjustment. It is Fair Wages and Salary Commission that did that. Our market premium, the value is 78% of our basic salary. And now what we are receiving is between 13.5 to 17, depending on your rank. So this 8% was supposed to be an allowance, and the next time we go for negotiations, then they will add something small. We are not requesting that all of a sudden
But,
pay
so
us.
that hasn't changed. Nothing small has been added.
No,
to
no,
it.
no, nothing.
Okay, but is that peculiar to nurses? I'm not sure anybody
In the health system,
I'm
yes.
not sure anybody is being paid like everybody's being paid exactly what their market premium is.
In the next
that negotiation.
Let me tell you. I try as much as possible not to do the comparison, but you see the list among the among the health ecosystem market premium is currently around 67%.
I see.
And we are around 13 to 13.5 to 17. So if I tell you that this struggle was against systemic injustice,
I see.
you understand.
Great. So what again? So non-basic allowance.
Yes, and we also ask for medical care.
Medical care. You people are nurses and
Yes.
you're calling for medical care.
Yes. This is not money coming to our pocket. This is just like a form of insurance. Could you imagine that a psychiatric nurse who is hurt by a client pays for his medical condition?
Really?
At the word. You see, you are surprised.
In the line of duty.
In the line of duty, I have a client, I have a colleague who is right now suffering from spinal injury at work. And it is the association that cater for the person. Last year, last 2 months, the person received a letter that if he does not resume, they are going to take him off.
Oh, that person who was injured in the line of duty.
If I tell you that our struggle was a struggle for systemic injustice this country has brought onto us, you will now understand. That same person who was on duty, will you imagine
But how difficult is it for a nurse who is working in the public sector to be taken care of by the same facility he or she works with? How difficult is that?
That is the question we were asking. That is
because you see the doctors anyway. So in fact, you people are in the consulting with the doctors anyway. So they'll just talk to you and prescribe medicine for you. Go to the pharmacy, take it.
You are making
or go to the lab and get
more emotional
some
and more
diagnostics
sad.
done.
It is
how difficult
we
is
pay
that?
for it. Even para, we pay.
Really?
Can you imagine a
you
midwife?
pay for it on paper?
No, we pay cash. Like we pay and take receipt. We pay. A midwife who, for example, somebody at Rich Kolebu can deliver or catch baby. We call it catch or deliver babies in a whole year between 300 and 500 one person. When he goes for even A and C antenatal service, that midwife pays for it.
But antenatal we don't pay.
So there.
No, but before giving birth, we followed our wives to antenatal.
And it was free. Drugs, everything was free. When he goes to deliver at the same hospital, where he works, he pays for it.
So that's
and we are saying that at least
that's clear. But does it have a limit? What I mean is, there are some conditions we say can be covered.
Yeah.
You can't say it should be a limitless, insurance.
Right.
So there should be some conditions that should be covered. In any case, nurses should have health insurance, right? Health insurance is a national thing.
Yeah, we have.
All nurses have. So if you have health insurance, you go to the hospital, you should be taken care of.
And it's free.
But that's health insurance.
I'm not here to discuss.
No, but you people are the people who say
we are not the managers.
So you have health insurance card.
Those who take decisions there are there.
No, you have health insurance card.
We
you
have
go to
health
the
insurance.
consulting room, the doctor sees you. That's it. And you take your medicine and all of that. You are nurses, the health insurance.
You do a phone in, right?
No.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah,
I would have wished that the general public will come and tell you.
So you're saying that even though you are workers in the public space,
we don't receive
there's a public national effort to help grant financial access to people in terms of healthcare delivery or access. And you are saying that you should be treated separately because you are nurses.
Not because we are nurses.
Or because you work in the health space.
It is because of the risk we are exposed. That is what we are saying. Is it not too sad that even in the days of COVID, nurses who contracted COVID needed to pay for their own care?
But COVID, nobody paid for COVID. It was free.
Hey.
No, COVID was free. Like it was free. That's what we're told.
I think the general public need a lot of education.
No, but COVID treatment was free, was it not?
What happens at the hospital? I think the hospital is now beginning to look like an occult space where people don't understand actually what goes in there.
COVID diagnosis, COVID treatment, and all of those in the government hospitals were free. That That's what we're told, and that's what it was. Huge sums of money will come to that.
That's what you were told. I would
no, but the diagnosis of the
people were buying drugs, people were paying for it, nurses paid for it. Even the insurance that was given, that if you working on them, you contract COVID, you'll be paid that insurance. Nurses died. That insurance even never got
people were giving special treatment. We were giving special allowances.
People were home. Without even going to work, and they were being paid.
So when we are working,
we didn't even ask for double salary.
No, that's fair.
We should have been paid. You see,
it's fair. So now let's continue. What's the next one? Medical care, which I have issues with, but it's also fair.
Point.
Yes.
The Ghanaians actually don't value the services we provide.
No, we do. We do.
No,
we do.
No,
that's how we like nurses. We like nurses.
No, for liking nurses.
we like nurses.
Exactly the position you came in, comparing two people, two same public sector workers, one staying at home receiving his full salary.
One was giving double salary.
Not double.
1.5.
Not double. No.
1.5.
No.
Was giving what?
We were giving only one. The only thing we were giving was we were not paying tax on that. And how much is the tax?
Tax
we were
like
not paying
30% of your salary.
No, 25.
25% of your salary.
Yes. So somebody is receiving 100%. You see, there has been a lot of unfairness.
No, everybody pays
colleagues, everybody pays tax.
Yeah, but you guys,
the person who was sitting home did not take any car.
But you had free buses. There were free buses.
Where?
We even wanted to organize free buses for you. Government said no. Government said no, they will do it. And government did it. Free buses for people.
Our biggest problem is the media.
Really? We are rather giving you space to talk.
No, our biggest problem is...
No, so here you are on the media explaining things to people.
Because...
Look at the point you made about the medical care.
You only take one session of the communication. Government says this. And you assume that is actually what is transpiring there. I am telling you today that the insurance government promised nurses, they never paid.
But you are quiet. Your leadership is quiet. So how will we do?
It is the reason why...
Once we don't hear you complain,
it is the reason why
then
always
we presume that
you
it's been done.
blackmail as people will die, people will do this, our grandparents are suffering, and that one was cloned on us, thinking so much of the vulnerable, not knowing that do not buy tomatoes.
I see. Hamza Suini is here. He is a lawyer. He is with the NDC communications team, and he's listening intently. He's interested in the matters we are discussing. I'll bring him in due course. So, what again? Medical care?
And we were asking for 13th month.
13th month?
Yes, allowance.
13th month allowance.
That's every profession in the health system takes it, except nurses. So
doctors take 13th month?
They have been taking it for the past 2 years.
2 years?
Except nurses.
Laboratory
I said I don't want to... Everybody in the health system, except nurses.
Okay.
What this is paid at the facility level. Not even from
so use your IGF to pay this?
Not even from the consolidation fund.
So this is IGF?
Yes. So right now, you know all the things
so what
I
happens
mentioned.
if the facility is not able to raise enough IGF? What happens? It becomes arrears on the facility.
But people are able to pay themselves at that same facilities allowances.
No, I'm just raising a hypothetical point. In case the
other
facility
professionals
is so poor because there are some chips compounds, etc. That also have nurses. But because of how they operate, they may not have IGF.
Yes.
Nurses, they have...
The BMCs are responsible to...
What was the BMC?
The district health facility, directorates. We have...
So they have to raise money to pay this.
Exactly. And it should be part of their budget. And we have continuous professional development.
That's part of it.
Yes, that's part of it.
CPD.
And the people who don't understand what this is insulted us.
The CPD is important because you have to be improving yourself.
And you know what? Government even uses the PIN to regularize his hospitals, register his hospitals at HIFRA, Health Agencies
Regulatory Facilities.
Exactly.
Facility regulatory.
And you need, as I talk to you now, most of our hospitals in Ghana is operating without license because nurses have not renewed their PINs, and that is the risk.
No, but once they
somebody take them on.
Wait. They work in the government space.
Yes.
And who pays for the renewal of their license?
We were paying it ourselves.
But now you don't pay yourselves.
Now government said
so government pays.
No, he doesn't.
No, so if government says they will pay and government hasn't paid, the same government cannot come and say you've not paid, so go and start.
They were threatening our members for non-validation, for non-payment of their salary because of that. What we didn't stand up one day and got to where we are.
I'm saying that. So we are addressing the injustice.
The same government. The same government that said they will pay. It was the same government that were threatening nurses if others went for promotional interview and they were not given. In the same government space, the same government agencies, the same government departments, they requested of them to bring their pins, and they didn't have, because government have not renewed it, and they were not granted the interview for promotion. So as at now, some nurses have been
How long has this thing persisted?
Since January.
So it just started in January?
Yes.
Great. Because of the conditions of service that was approved. Okay. What else? CPD. What else?
These are the only
so these are the things you want. And then government said what? They don't have fiscal space, and that it should defer the implementation. Was that what you were told?
That was what we were told.
When?
We heard that only on the day Fair Wages and Salary Commission invited us. That was, I think, on our first day of the strike, where we drew OPD and emergency service. We went to a meeting with the Fair Wages and Salary Commission, and that was when the first time we were told that the conditions of service were not budgeted for.
But you people yourselves, you didn't see it that it wasn't budgeted for.
No.
You don't have people who go through the budget to be sure whether what.
Like I told you that we didn't see that nurses and midwives were budgeted for, but we wrote letters to the minister, and we were giving assurances that they would take care of it.
Okay. So what did Parliament tell you? The Health Select Committee. What did they tell you before you accepted to call off the strike?
I will want to thank the committee very well, especially the chairman and the ranking member. They did marvelously well. It was very non-partisan, and I think we reached a common understanding. They told us that, you see, government, you can't tell them that no. You have nothing for them, because all these whiles that we were battling, they didn't come in with any offer. All they were saying is we can do it, we can, and that is not fair. So they didn't come in with any offer. So it was okay. If we cannot accept all you are saying, bring some. Let government also reconsider the decision of throwing everything away. Then we can have a mutual stand, of which that really helped.
Okay, so that's fine.